Art of the Elements, Episode 5, Copper. Copper is a metal that has been known since ancient times. The name copper itself comes from the Latin cuprum, which was a shortening of cyprium, meaning metal of Cyprus, which is where the majority of copper used by the Roman Empire was mined, although there are now known to be copper mines across large parts of the globe. Copper is a very good conductor of both electricity and heat. It's not the best electrical conductor there is, which is silver, but you can see that copper and silver are in the same group of the periodic table, and it can be seen time and again that elements in the same group, or columns, of the table have some similar properties. You'll also notice that in the same column is gold, and copper and gold are two of the most notable coloured metals, and by coloured I mean just not silver or metallic-y grey. Copper is favoured over silver for use in wires, however, as it is much cheaper, with silver being used in high-end electronics where that little extra bit of conduction actually matters. Copper is also very ductile, meaning that it can be stretched out into wires for transmitting the electricity. Unfortunately, although copper is a good conductor, around 75% of electricity produced is lost in transmission, meaning that you actually end up using 4 times as much electricity as you need to run something because you need to get that electricity to your house. The ideal solution to this are superconductors, which are materials with no electrical resistance, meaning that none of this electricity would be lost. However, one is yet to be made that works at room temperature. Copper is also used in data cables, but this is being phased out and being replaced by fibre optic cables as they require fewer signal boosting stations than copper does. As copper is a good conductor of heat as well, it was also found in the base of pans and in ancient times was used as the whole of the pan, and you can easily identify these by the colour, just by looking at the base. Copper has been used in many alloys in its time. The most notable of these is bronze, which is considered so important archaeologically that there's the Bronze Age. Bronze is an alloy of copper and tin, and was used to make many things ranging from weapons and armour down to pots and pans. One of the interesting things about bronze is that tin and copper are rarely found together, meaning that the creation of bronze was dependent on trade, with Cornish tin, for example, being found as far away as the Middle East. And if you look at medals in the championship, you'll notice that it almost goes down the group in a periodic table with bronze, silver and gold. Brass is another notable alloy of copper, with zinc added, but the alloy you're probably most familiar with is that which is found in pennies. This applies to various currencies such as the 1 and 2p pieces in the UK, the cent in the United States, and the Canadian 1 cent, which is no longer being made. The first decimal pennies in the UK were made from bronze, but this was changed in 1992 to copper-plated steel due to the rising price of copper. In fact, in 2006, the amount of copper in one of the pre-1992 pennies could actually be worth as much as 1.5 pence. I've linked to a couple videos below about people being angry at the expense of copper coins. And before I go, I feel I should just explain the painting. It's based on the joke that copper wires were invented when 2 Scotsmen started fighting over a penny. That's all for this episode. See you again on Sunday.